Okay, the big news just today after Suresh Kalmadi declined the post of the life president that was given to him by the Indian Olympic Association. Now it's the turn of Abhay Singh Chautala, who too has refused to accept the post. This was the post of the life president with the Indian Olympic Association. And in fact, there has already been a letter that has been sent by Abhay Singh Chautala where he has thanked the IOA for bestowing him the honor by nominating him unanimously. However, he said that he will not be accepting the post amid all the criticism and furor that has come about with the announcement of these two appointments. Now we are joined by the Sports Minister, Vijay Goel. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. We've just received news that after Suresh Kalmadi, now Abhay Singh Chautala, who was extremely defiant, has finally acceded and saying that he will not accept the post of the life president. How do you react?
I am thankful to them for saving the Indian sports also, and the Indian Olympic Association for taking a wrong decision. Now the whole controversy is over. I am glad.
Yes, it's all over. But Abhay Singh Chautala had some very, serious remarks against you. He also said he accused you of failing in your responsibility. He also made a lot of personal attacks against you. How do you respond to all of that?
Don't know what personal attacks against me. I am not personally against me. I have taken a decision because the IOA has taken a wrong decision. Because of that only I took that step.
So were you surprised with both these appointments?
Yeah.
And do you think that it was a result of that anger or the show cause notice that you had sent to the IOA, which has resulted in both Suresh Kalmadi and Abhay Singh Chautala refusing to accept those life president appointments?
That we are not going to tolerate that. And because it's against the basic ethics and the good governance and our National Sports Development Code.
And sir, also, going ahead, how much of an involvement would the Sports Ministry have within the affairs of the Indian Olympic Association? Have they responded to that show cause notice, or do you expect any, reply to that after this news of Abhay Singh Chautala?
Our ministry respects the charter of IOC. We respect the autonomy and for IOA, the National Sports Federation. The government has every right to check the wrong decisions.
So Abhay Singh Chautala, just coming to him, said that he was quite surprised and shocked by your reaction. He even corrected you by saying that there were no criminal cases against him, but there were political cases against him, and he feels that that reaction was unfair and unjust.
My reaction is not against any individual. My reaction is against the decision of the IOA. So there are two different things. Thank you.
Just we received this mail from Mr. Abhay Singh Chautala, and he is declining to the honorable this post. So we can't explain anything about this situation to Mr. Abhay Singh Chautala. So I think now we have received this mail, and that's good for the sports. Thank you very much.
Let's go straight across to India Today's Shivani Gupta. She, in fact, has been tracking this story in close detail. Now, Shivani, what can one expect? We saw the outcry with the result of those two appointments. Now that Suresh Kalmadi and Chautala have backed out, can we expect any reaction from the Indian Olympic Association and even from Abhay Singh Chautala, who was so defiant, so brazen till yesterday?
Yes, he is going out screaming and kicking of sorts, Abhay Chautala, because he has had a conversation with his confidant N. Ramachandran, the current president. And as a face saver, what he has said is that as long as the IOC has an objection, he will sacrifice his position as he did in 2013 as well. So that's the face saver that they are sort of, compromise solution that they have come up to. But it is clear that there is no way that this position will be sustainable for him, whether it happens right now or it happens in a couple of days from now. This is the letter that he has sent earlier to IOA, and then he has sent another one, an email to the IOA, the Indian Olympic Association, saying that if the IOC has an objection, then he's willing to sacrifice. But that seems to be a face saver at this point of time. Remember, it was under IOC pressure that IOA had to revise their constitution to say that anyone who has charges framed against them in the court of law, where imprisonment can be of more than 2 years, is not eligible to take any office, any post. IOA insiders have even clarified to us that it's not just for executive members but for any member of the body, and life presidency falls in that. So this seems to be Abhay Chautala has finally buckled under pressure. He was under enormous pressure to at least come out and make his stance clear, whether after Kalmadi he is going to brazen it out or he is also going to relent under pressure.
Stay with me, Shivani. We also have the Joint Secretary of the Indian Olympic Association, Anand Deshwar. Sir, thanks so much for speaking to us. Just a short while back, we spoke to the General Secretary of the IOA, Mr. Mehta, who said that this is a welcome move, and he said that this is good for sports. I'm surprised that if this is a good move and if this has the backing of the General Secretary, then why make those appointments in the first place?
देखिए मैडम, कोई भी ये नहीं सोचा था कि इतना रिएक्शन होगा। मैं कल भी कहा था, पहले भी कहा था कि एक जनरल कस्टम है, रीति रिवाज है कि जो आउटगोइंग प्रेसिडेंट होते हैं उनको जो है
नहीं सर, एक बात बताइए, मेरी कल आपसे बात इसी पर हुई थी। आपने कहा था कि ये ऑनररी पोस्ट थे, इस पे कोई एग्जीक्यूटिव अथॉरिटी नहीं थे, मगर जो जनरल सेक्रेटरी है, अभी हमारी बात हुई थी, उन्होंने कहा है ये अच्छा हुआ कि दोनों कलमाडी ने और मिस्टर चौटाला हैव रिफ्यूज्ड टू एक्सेप्ट द पोस्ट ऑफ द लाइफ प्रेसिडेंट दैट वाज गिवन बाय द आईओए।
मैं भी उनको इस कदम की सराहना करता हूँ और इसके लिए मैं उनको बधाई देता हूँ कि उन्होंने ये काम किया, क्योंकि लोक मतलब मत जो है उनके खिलाफ है, इसलिए लोक मत खिलाफ है। तो इस बॉडी में उनको ये पद छोड़ने पर मैं उनको भी बधाई, तो मैं भी स्वागत करता हूँ। लेकिन हम लोगों ने, कोई हाउस मेंबर ने ये नहीं सोचा था, जो प्रस्ताव आया जनरल रूटीन का प्रस्ताव था, उसमें कहीं ये किसी सदस्य ने ये नहीं सोचा कि इस तरह की कंट्रोवर्सी उत्पन्न होगी।
Anand Deshwar ji, this is Shivani this side. I have also received a Hockey India press release, and Hockey India has now put it on record that they want their 3 votes opposed to the resolution of appointing Kalmadi and Chautala. So it may be in hindsight, but they have put it on record now that they were not in favor of this, and they want their votes to be opposed to this resolution. Clearly, there are a lot of divisions within the IOA, and it has egg on its face, isn't it?
देखिए मैडम, उस समय किसी ने मैं फिर कल उस दिन भी बोला था कि एक सदस्य ने प्रस्ताव दिया और सबने किसी ने विरोध नहीं किया, और मैं अपने बात पर कायम हूँ। विरोध का स्वर नहीं उठा, फिर नेक्स्ट आइटम पर चले गए अदय। तो उस समय कोई कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं थी, न इस बात पर सोचा गया, न विचार किया गया, हाउस ने सोचा। और ये जो हो गया रिएक्शन आने के बाद, कल भी मैंने कहा था कि अगर कोई काम होगी, स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्ट्री ने लेटर लिखा है, तो उस पर हमारे और अध्यक्ष फैसला लेंगे, नहीं तो एग्जीक्यूटिव बुलाएंगे और जो चार्टर कहेगा उसके अनुरूप कार्य करेगा। कल भी कहा था, आज भी इस बात पर कायम हूँ। लेकिन इस कंट्रोवर्सी से उन्होंने खुद को विड्रॉ कर लिया, तो ये बहुत अच्छी बात है।
All right, Anand Deshwar ji, thanks a lot for joining us. Well, it's clear that it's a lot of face saving now for the IOA, because after Kalmadi, who had outrightly declined, Chautala has also indicated that he's buckling under pressure. He might try to throw the ball in the IOC's court, but it's not going to really work out in his favor. It's a face saver of sort for both him and N. Ramachandran. But N. Ramachandran, as the president who mooted this resolution, will definitely have a lot of explaining to do.
Absolutely, Shivani, and like you mentioned yesterday, unlike Suresh Kalmadi, who has been keeping a low profile ever since those corruption and criminal charges were made against him, Abhay Singh Chautala has been extremely vocal about the criticism around his appointment. He made some personal attacks at the sports minister as well, saying that he has a personal issue with his appointment as the life president.
That's right. A lot of questions really that come out from this entire fiasco, because it's turned out to be embarrassment for the IOA. There will be questions asked. They may try to bury this under the carpet for the meantime. But it's quite clear that, it has shown as the term of N. Ramachandran comes towards an end that there is going to be ugly infighting as well as far as the IOA is concerned.
Absolutely, and that was pretty evident from the response that was given to you by the General Secretary. I mean, he in fact welcomed the move. He in fact has said that this is good for Indian sports, that Abhay Singh Chautala has backed out. He's refused to take up the position.
That's right. That was quite telling, Avantika, because as I had mentioned before that phone conversation, Rajiv Mehta, the Secretary General, and the President don't really see eye to eye. They don't communicate to each other. They're very different factions. And because of their infighting, in fact, IOA has become almost a dysfunctional body. So all of that has come out in the open. Rajiv Mehta was categorical that they have received an email, and he's happy that he is declining the post as well. But it seems that between N. Ramachandran and Abhay Chautala, they've tried to save face a little bit by putting it in the IOC's court so that the blame doesn't come on IOA. They will say this was tradition for us, we wanted to do this, we are an autonomous body. But yes, if IOC has an objection, then we are happy to relent.
Absolutely. Shivani, just stay with me. In fact, a short while back, the sports minister spoke to India Today, and this is what he had to say. We've just received that after Suresh Kalmadi, now Abhay Singh Chautala, who was extremely defiant, has finally acceded and saying that he will not accept the post of the life president. How do you react?
I am thankful to them for saving the Indian sports also, and the Indian Olympic Association for taking a wrong decision. Now the whole controversy is over. I am glad.
Yes, it's all over. But Abhay Singh Chautala had some very, serious remarks against you. He also said he accused you of failing in your responsibility. He also made a lot of personal attacks against you. How do you respond to all of that?
Don't know what personal attacks against me. I am not personally against me. I have taken a decision because the IOA has taken a wrong decision. Because of that only I took that step.
So were you surprised with both these appointments?
Yeah.
And do you think that it was a result of that anger or the show cause notice that you had sent to the IOA, which has resulted in both Suresh Kalmadi and Abhay Singh Chautala refusing to accept those life president appointments?
That we are not going to tolerate that. And because it's against the basic ethics and the good governance and our National Sports Development Code.
And so also, going ahead, how much of an involvement would the Sports Ministry have within the affairs of the Indian Olympic Association? Have they responded to that show cause notice, or do you expect any, reply to that after this news of Abhay Singh Chautala?
Our ministry respects the charter of IOC. We respect the autonomy and of IOA and the National Sports Federation. The government has every right to check the wrong decisions.
So Abhay Singh Chautala, just coming to him, said that he was quite surprised and shocked by your reaction. He even corrected you by saying that there were no criminal cases against him, but there were political cases against him, and he feels that that reaction was unfair and unjust.
My reaction is not against any individual. My reaction is against the decision of the IOA. So there are two different things. Thank you.
Continuing to get you all the updates and reactions on that big story after Suresh Kalmadi, Abhay Singh Chautala backing out and refusing the post of the life president that was awarded to him by the Indian Olympic Association. Let's go straight across to India Today consulting editor Boria Majumdar. Boria, now the plum appointments did drew fierce criticism, but Vijay Goel, I remember, had categorically stated that the president of the IOA, N. Ramachandran, is equally to be blamed. It's interesting how, these developments have even brought to the fore the split that exists within the IOA.
Absolutely correct, Avantika. I mean, let me put this on record that the president of the IOA and the secretary general of the IOA do not see eye to eye for the longest time. In fact, Rajiv Mehta I'll give you 3 instances. In Rio, N. Ramachandran had requested Rajiv Mehta to facilitate Abhay Singh Chautala's travel along with his wife, including his accreditation. So on Rajiv Mehta's quota, Rajiv Mehta had turned that down. Finally, this was done by N. Ramachandran himself. Second, Rajiv Mehta is very much in favor in giving the new boxing body recognition. Ramachandran forever has shot it down. Third, Rajiv Mehta was not in favor of the appointment of Chautala and Kalmadi. He was shot down by Ramachandran. 3 questions come here. 1, Ramachandran has told us, or we were made to believe, that this was a unanimous IOA resolution. Was it? Clearly it was not. So the IOA president has been on record claiming unanimous. Now he's proven that it's clearly proved that it is a false statement. Should he take moral responsibility for having disgraced Indian sport and resign? Because we on India today believe in clean sport. Sport is for our athletes. Sport belongs to the sports people. And if you do something that will hurt credibility, hurt respect, hurt the interests of the athletes, then I don't think you have any more tangible responsibility left or any credibility left to head the post of IOA president. So I think it is time that we on India today, we've been claiming this from yesterday, that Abhay Chautala's resignation was a matter of time. Even if he says the whole IOC point that IOC has a problem, etc., this is trying to be brazen and defiant. But I think it's also time to start claiming that N. Ramachandran, for what he has done to Indian sport, he has disgraced Indian sport, should take moral responsibility and resign.
And with Rajiv Mehta singing a different tune, one wonders where does this fondness and affection for Suresh Kalmadi and Abhay Chautala come in from the president of IOA? Can you give us a little, history behind these appointments? Does it violate the basic constitution of the Indian Olympic Association, Boria?
It does, because according to the changed constitution in 2014, which says charges framed. By the way, let me clarify this, and it's very, very important for our viewers. It's not charge sheeted. It is charges framed based on which can be imprisonment. And both of these people have charges framed which can lead to imprisonment of 2 years or more. So it does violate the constitution, and it is not for office bearers, it's for everybody who is in a position in the IOA. So both Kalmadi and Abhay Chautala's appointment, absolutely crystal clear violation of the new IOA constitution that was drafted and adopted under IOC guidance. So clearly there's a problem. You asked me about the cozy club, Ramachandran, Abhay Chautala, Kalmadi.
Yes.
Let me give you one more instance, Avantika. The day these two, Abhay Chautala resigned and N. Ramachandran took over, when that happened, I think on the 9th of February 2014, there was a press conference. But before the press conference started, before the media was gotten into the hall, a standing ovation was given to Kalmadi, Lalit Bhanot, Abhay Chautala, etc. by N. Ramachandran and his team. So this cozy club goes a long way. Ramachandran has facilitated Abhay Chautala's visit to Rio. He has done everything to suit Kalmadi and Chautala, and this is a give back, so that his tenure, which ends day after tomorrow, can continue for another couple of years. So it's you scratch my back, I scratch yours. That whole cozy club nonsense that the IOA is still continuing.
But hasn't this incident also exposed the rot that exists within the IOA? Does it end with just these two refusing to accept the life president? Do you think that the sports ministry would now be, looking into the affairs of the IOA as well, Puria?
They should have done for the longest time, because clearly Vijay Goel is aware of the goings on, and I was happy to see the sports minister come out and say in such strong terms that he was displeased.
Right.
And he even distanced himself. So yes, there is a serious need to monitor the actions of the IOA.
All right, Boria, thanks so much for joining us. With that.